All right.
Oh, I just have one request. Do you think we could finish earlier than normal, just because I'm kind of still sick and I want to get an early-ish night?
Yeah, we can try.
We can kill you early. That's the problem. Also,
I'm just gonna randomly kill you.
Yeah.
I'll just find some way for you to collapse unconscious early in the fight, and
I'm sure that will be really hard for you and traumatic.
yeah, and you'll wake up next session with almost everything intact.
except for one missing leg.
Half a missing leg at tops. Anyway, back to our story.
Okay, yeah.
Our heroic adventurers left the town of Whalesport on their trusty ship, the Naughty Buoy, headed out to sea to go visit a crab duke in his island castle. Their ship, piloted by One-Eyed Tim, is bringing an offer of arms and a potential alliance against the Megazord Lobsters, the fearsome enemies of the Voltron Crabs. Jarek, Trick, Brandy, and Rab were on the deck looking out wistfully as we left port, while Bernhilda is below deck, not really a big fan of the waves. Tim's going to inform you that it'll be a solid day's sailing from here before they reach the island. Anything you guys want to do before we make landfall?
This sounds like one of those things like we really should probably do something, but we don't really know what to do. Come on, guys, put your heads together.
Is there any like supplies on board that we can get?
Well, you have supplies for about a week out at sea, just in case.
I'm going to carve somewhere on the boat. Jarek was here with my hook.
Oh yeah, because you have looking.
I'm gonna take a cat nap.
Okay. Cat nap for the cat. Vile graffiti for Jarek.
Seeing as how I'm basically in like uber focus mode, is there any way I can like prep or work on my mace to prepare it for
Just join.
our future?
Certainly. You can practice with your mace. You're just gonna have to give me a weapons roll. It's off of strength for your mace. Let's see, simple weapons.
All right. Wait, should I just hit the strength or should I hit the...
No, you're the mace weapon you have there. You can just hit. Let me see how you do. I mean, you're doing fine. Like, you're no master of this mace, but it's sufficient. Jarek, are you trying to be stealthy as you carve your name?
Not really. Everyone does it in the tavern on the tables and stuff, so I figure it's accepted everywhere.
Yeah. Give me a perception, Jarek. Yeah.
I'm very happily doing it. I don't really care.
So you've gotten the J in just right. You had to go back a couple of times to really scrawl it out so that it was legible. But as you finish up the J, you feel a hand on your back pulling you away. It's Tim and his first mate. Who is the first mate? It was someone you already met from the tavern. Oh, it was Handsome Jack, of course. Handsome Jack is Tim's first mate on this maiden voyage.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to punch anyone.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think these guys could take it a little better than Edmund could.
I'm like, sorry, can I help you?
Jarek, we preferred if you didn't just start defacing our ship.
Oh, that. Yeah, my bad.
It's alright. You can make it up to me. Randy hands you a mop and a bucket.
Well, you see, I only have one hand. It's really quite hard to to mop. I mean, I used to love mopping, but since I lost my hand, it's just
while you're talking, while you're talking, Handsome Jack is gonna go over to a chest by the cabins. Rummaging through it, he comes out with this odd device. It appears to be this circular shaft with this little stick coming out of it. He walks up to you, unscrews your hook, screws it on, and then it latches onto the mop.
I'm like, yay! I can mop again. I don't know how to repay you.
Hey, Jarek. Hey, you missed a spot over here.
Would he be making references right now to the fact this might have other uses later?
I will. I guess I'll mop.
It's a good diameter. Jarek is especially happy with his new acquisition. It's good to have options.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a name for this attachment that should he change into it at different times?
Not yet. I'd be interested to know what everyone's going to end up calling it.
The swab adjustment, the swab thing. I don't know.
Okay, we'll get back to that. Well, Jarek, shouldn't take you too long to swab the deck. Brandy's gonna practice with his mace. Not sure what you're gonna do, Rab.
I have some guesses.
What?
Steal
What?
stuff.
I don't steal stuff all the time. But while we're actually thinking about that, I do want to take a look at the captain's quarters.
Well, he has his quarters in the quarter deck, as it was called. So you can see the door locked. It was right near where Jarek was carving his name.
Can I pick the lock?
Sure. Let's start with a stealth check. Okay. And now you're going to give me a roll with your thieves' tools.
Where are they? Okay.
Yeah, I guess we don't have them set up. Oh, no, we do. Okay. Yeah, you're just going to you can just go ahead and roll your stealth again. It's going to be basically the same. Yeah. All right. You're not able to pick this lock very well. With the rolling of the sea, it's a little harder than you're used to. With some practice, you'll be a proper seafaring thief, but for now, it's really just making you a bit seasick trying to focus on this lock.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna go enjoy the ride then.
All right. Well, after about an hour or so, Jarek, you've finished with your mopping, and we're just going to continue on to the next day. Preparing for arrival at the crab docks, Tim is going to speak to you all and explain the situation. Now, it's been a few years since we've had anyone journey into crab territory like this, so I gotta give you a warning. We picked the crab noble who we think would be most accommodating. Lord Shelley here is very proud and has quite the ego. Doesn't get a chance to really advance in their crab society much, so he might be willing to strike a deal if it increases his power in this kingdom. He's very sensitive, though. Bit of a soft shell, if you will. So really mind your manners.
Crabs famously have big egos.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jared.
Yeah, you can
Good
believe
speakers.
Jarek on this one. I'm sure he's an expert on crabs.
Yeah, I've been up close and personal with them.
Yeah,
He's known a lot about crabs well before we ever met them.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, the next day, you're sailing up, and ahead of you, you see some oddly shaped islands appearing over the horizon. Wider at the top, they look like these upside down mountains, as you can see. Scampering along this upper plateau and climbing up the walls, you can see all manner of crabs. At the bottom, there's moors for docking your ship, and a set of ladders and stairs to ascend to the top. As you're approaching, you see another ship coming to intercept you. It's a little smaller than yours, but definitely outfitted for war. And it's waving this blood red flag with the image of a black crab on it.
I'm going to make a general vote that we refer to Tim for more information.
Oh,
Who here wants to do it? Hey, Kiwi. Kiwi, ask Tim for information.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say who's gonna ask Tim for information. Okay, well I guess I will then. Tim, what is the meaning of this flag? I don't understand.
so I think that's one of those crab privateers. Not technically part of the crab navy, but hired by the crab king himself to prey on merchant and fishing ships from the human settlements. I don't think it's him himself, but that's definitely one of Crabbeard's ships.
Crabbeard.
Yes.
Oh dear God, they have crabs with beards. Holy
Just the
crap.
one.
Just Crabbeard.
Just Crabbeard.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think he grew it himself, but when he took it from that man, no one's doubting that's his beard now.
I will nod in awe and just look. Hey, Jarek. I mean, Tim. Does anybody have a good plan to deal with this? Because I mean, maybe we should just, do they normally just attack outright, or do they communicate?
I mean, I think we could just avoid them, couldn't we, altogether?
Well, I can certainly avoid him, but I can't see any way for me to get away from him once I let you guys out on the island.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
The
ship.
Duke here, Duke Shelley, he is probably willing to hear you out, so you might just have to take your chances with these privateers.
Well, let's.
If they're under his command, then you're gonna be fine.
Well, if they're under his command, maybe we can actually, offboard onto there from here and have them take us the rest of the way as a plan. If they won't let us into the waters.
Tim nods vigorously. I appreciate that plan. You guys just offload and I'll wait some distance away.
All right. How would we go about signaling these people
Well,
for an audience?
I have a white flag for just this occasion.
I just start hammering vodka right now just to
Ooh,
prepare
does it
my
have an
multilingual
attachment
skills.
for Jarek's arm? White flag?
To wave a flag.
Yeah.
Ooh. I hadn't thought to make such an attachment, but
Well, that's okay. He has another hand he can hold it with.
Wait.
Let's go.
We could use the
Yeah.
broom and use that and wedge that in there and then put the flag on it and then he'll be able to use it.
that's true. We'll have to work on these attachments. I'm sure that there's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Some of the locals who have lost hands have come up with quite the brilliant contraptions. You can
I
ask
need-
them about it later.
I didn't
I
know
need a
this was a regular
grapple.
thing.
A grappling hook.
Oh, so you can be like Batman.
Well, he pulls out his white flag and hoists it up the main mast, and then slows to a stop as the privateer ship approaches. And you can see on board some real fearsome-looking crabs.
Wow. That crew looked cray.
Yeah. You got crabs that have hooks of their own, peg legs, tons of peg legs. 2 or 3 to a crab. You're not sure the exact process, but looks like some of these crabs definitely have some semblance of tattoos. Anchors, fish, crab pinups. Not your style, but you can see the appeal.
I personally can't see the appeal.
Oh, I bet one of them has a tattoo that says "Mom." It's like a heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Perhaps we
it's
can
not
bond
really
with
the
them
heart
over this.
symbol you're familiar with. It's a crab heart.
Crab heart.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
one crab drops down from the rigging on his ship aboard yours, holding a cutlass in one claw, and scuttles up to. Let me actually give myself a roll here. He scuttles up to Jarek with Jarek's impressive hat. It's hard to tell whether he or Tim is the captain.
I've still got
What
the
are
mop.
you doing here in crab waters?
Well, Mr. Crab, we're on a little bit of a quest to get to what was the name of the island?
We don't even know where we're
An audience
going.
with Shelley,
Yeah.
I think is what we're
Oh,
looking
man.
for.
Shoot, what was the name?
An audience with the great
Oh, I
Shelley.
just blinked too.
I don't know if I told you the name.
An audience with the great Shelley is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's enough for them to know. Yeah, we're trying trying to gain an audience with the great and wonderful Shelley.
Well, that's Captain Claw to you, I'll have you know.
Captain Claw, and I take the hat off and I do like a big over-exaggerated sweeping bow.
Oh god, that's probably like a racist slur thing in there.
Yeah.
It's really hard to read whether he's offended by it or not. He informs you, not just anyone gets into Duke Shelley's court. What business do you have here?
Well, we need to find out about them. I've even forgotten the name of the lobsters. We're on a quest.
I'm raising my hand. Like, may I speak? May I speak?
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. And I'm just gonna finish this sentence for him. Pardon me, Captain Claw, but we are seeking audience with the great and noble Shelley, for we've heard that you are in need of weaponry, and we have, in order to deal with the great threat of the Megazord Lobster. I hear they're quite brutal, and they have caused much havoc to the north where we are headed. And some of the weapons and technology we've developed might be most useful in your war.
Oh, looking to trade weapons in our fight against the Megazord Lobsters? Yeah. Well, I can see why Shelley might be interested in such a deal. But what's in it for me? He brandishes his sword at you.
I first off just I take a swig of vodka. I'm like, do you guys drink by any chance?
We do.
I just kind of I just slowly
not on the
edge it
job,
forwards
they're
to hand it to him.
professional.
Like, have a drink with me. I mean, that's the best way to start peace. And
Maybe we could give them a
Guys.
sample of one of the weapons.
yes,
He looks a bit incredulous.
yeah, we got two hammers and the heavy cracker, and yeah, so we can spare a hammer. So that's an idea. Anybody else? Any other ideas, guys?
Do they happen to make their own alcohol? And we could maybe broker a deal like we did with the hermit crab guy?
We're going to be
Sell their-
selling exclusively, like
Exclusive crab and hermit
Yeah.
crab beers.
yeah.
All right,
I
so
don't know.
All right, so my thing is, tell you what, we have an extra. We just brought a couple of weapons to demo for them. However, I can spare one of our specialized hammers to take on the Megazord Lobster on the way through. If you'll give us passage the rest of the way, they can drop us here with you, and you can take it the rest of the way, or we can go the rest of the way as a group. It's entirely up to you, as it is clearly, your waters. We simply seek to broker a deal that would be beneficial to all involved.
Oh, make no mistake, you're coming with me, whether you want to or not. And I'm leaving 2 of my best crabs aboard this vessel to make sure you don't run off. By all means, step aboard.
All right, so I guess we just we unload onto there, and
Right.
I don't think we have much choice in this, guys, unless you guys have a plan.
Didn't really sound like it.
I still have the mop attached to my hand.
Oh, hey, you can get to cleaning their shit, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah,
part of the deal.
by the way, part of the deal, this guy here will swab your deck. He just loves swabbing deck.
I have a bit of a fear of crabs, so he's not thinking super straight right now, so he's still got it. I actually just start swabbing the deck without even being asked.
Captain Claus, very pleased with you. Keep it up. Might have a permanent place for you in my crew.
I immediately start offering my vodka to any members that are on there.
A couple of crabs scuttle up to you with cups. It seems that drinking out of a bottle really isn't practical for crabs.
All right, I pour him a little bit of liquor for all of them, baby. Hell yeah.
They drink it and are very appreciative. Was getting a bit thirsty. Thank you. One of them asks, "Do you have anything alcoholic?"
Oh, that's I'm afraid where I'm from, 100 proof, about 50% is alcohol, heavy as we can make it. However, if you guys can make liquor of greater density or alcohol of greater density, I would love to see how you guys do it, and maybe even broker a deal to ship that stuff back home.
One of them calls out in his crab language. Doesn't appear to speak common. And from below deck, you can see a crab emerge in some cook's regalia, wearing this nice chef hat and an apron. And he has a large jug in his hand and pours out a cup and hands it to you. From your experience, you can tell that this is a pretty serious proof. The captain explains to you, "This is our Crusher moonshine. We don't drink any of your watered down stuff here. Only the best."
I'm about 20 feet away and get drunk just from the fumes.
I'm just like, sweet Jesus, this is the Holy Land. And so yes, I would love to try it, sir. That smells divine, wonderful.
All right.
I must find out how you guys distill it down to the theoretical known as the grain alcohol that this is. I must learn.
I'm just gonna fluff up, like, what the fuck is that?
Well, anyone who wants to try it has to give me a Constitution saving throw.
I do.
Me?
It's not worth it for me.
Looks like it's just JJ.
No, I'm trying to. Where's my? Why can I not? Oh. Damn it.
Crap.
It's this weird salty taste. You only have a few seconds to savor it before your tongue just goes numb. You're losing sensation in the rest of your body slowly as well.
You black out, and it's like a week later you wake up.
You're still conscious. You just really can't feel your hands or face anymore.
On a positive note, my drunken superpower. So I'm simply going to I'm going to crab clap back to them. Thank you. This has truly been beautiful.
I don't need to feel these anyway.
One of them claps back to you. Oh, your accent is terrible, but good vocabulary.
I simply tap back. Thank you. I hope that this is the beginning of a long and most profitable relationship for us, and you're the soon impending destruction of the Megazord Lobsters that we will all reap the fruits of.
They all cheer to that, raising their cups. They offer you another swig.
Oh, sweet Jesus, yes, thank you.
All right.
So, do crabs appreciate a good vocab?
In their language, sure.
Yeah, it's like crabulary.
Vocabulary. Crab. Yes.
So yeah, that's gonna be another saving throw from you, Brandy. You're holding up much better with the second one. That first swing just caught you off guard.
Man, I really like this stuff.
Well,
Just a puff.
Onwards to the Shelley.
yeah, they set sail, full rigging as they go ahead and continue towards the island in the distance. Brandy is the only person here who can understand crab. You can hear that they're offering you food below deck.
All right, so I simply turn. Okay, guys, if anybody's hungry, there's food below deck. However, I greatly appreciate this alcohol and would prefer not to dilute the awesome effects of it. Oh my God, this is good.
I'm pretty hungry after that.
All right.
Swig of whatever.
I love how the drunken language ability makes zero sense at all, but
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's good that you have that.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing below deck, the crab cook that you met earlier is serving up fish.
I guess.
Looks like he's serving it raw. So you can have that unless you want.
Sushi.
Yeah, unless you want to talk to him for a special order.
Yeah, can I get my fish cooked?
Yeah, I asked the same. I'm
Well,
like standing behind him.
I think Brandy's gonna have to handle your requests for you since.
Oh, Brandy.
I'm just immediately like, food.
Okay, I go up. Well, yeah. Actually, you know what? For Trick, it might be possible to take that raw because she is, after all, a tabaxi.
Yeah. You want,
I'll bet you one.
okay.
Yeah, so I go up and tap to him. Sadly, some of our less manly, I'm tapping this in claw, some of our less manly members here come from a culture where they actually like burn this stuff before they eat it, and it makes them kind of sick when they can't handle it because, you know, they just aren't as manly and awesome as you guys. Any chance that we get this, like, you know, thrown over the fire for a minute or two, cooked up for them?
Crab Cook is aghast, but what he does is he pulls out his moonshine again, takes a swig, lights a flame, and then just blow torches a couple of the fish for you.
I nod in just awe and respect.
Oh,
These crabs
see,
got it
Jarek,
going
I
on.
think Brandy said some good stuff about us.
Yeah.
After a few minutes of this, he throws them onto some plates and slides them over to Jarek and Rab.
Sweet.
Thanks. I
He
guess.
might have overdone it a bit, but it looks edible.
Alright.
I eat it.
All right, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, because of
I'll
the
eat it,
alcohol
so-
on it. Crap. Oh dear.
Oh!
Oh, nice. Oh,
It looks like he burned off most of it. You're getting the vapors from this, and it is some strong stuff.
wait, did I do that right?
You're giving me checks, which is over on the left. Above the abilities, though, you have the saving throws. So if you have proficiency in Constitution saving throws, it would probably be +2 of what you rolled. In all likelihood, it doesn't make a difference. Let me see.
Oh.
No, it would have been the same for you either way.
Oh, okay, don't use that one.
Yeah.
No,
That was just a check.
Let's. I like that roll. He immediately, his head just hits the table. He's just out.
Unfortunately, I can't find any good crab music. But
Music. Like Little Mermaid?
But yeah, they are playing
I
some
guess
of
that's a
their
lot.
most popular sea shanties. And Brandy, it doesn't translate well, but you can tell these are some beautiful lyrics. They
Such
have
classic
this,
says, "I left my crab sweetheart at home."
yeah. It is recounting their epic struggle with the lobsters and being forced from their homeland, and the sad state that left them at war with these humans who don't understand their plight. After a few minutes of listening to this, you have a tear in your eye and also vehemently hate humans for their terrible injustices against crab peoples.
As I'm uttering to myself quietly, damn humans and their tendency to destroy everything. Appreciate nothing. God, I can't stand freaking humans. Damn it, Jarek, you're a human. Why do you have to be so stupid sometimes?
You're a human.
Yeah, but I'm really bad at it, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess you are bordering on subhuman. Yeah.
Hey.
Everyone else just hears just bubbling from their mouth and some rhythmic claw clacking.
Oh man, I love this course, guys. It's destroyed. It translates like destroy the mega lobsters. Even though the humans aren't going to help us, it's just beautiful, man. It just resonates, you know. Just that being alone in the battle, like we've all been. As I take another swig of vodka.
Yeah. After dinner and this excellent musical performance, some of them have decided that they're going to have an arm wrestling contest.
Oh,
You're
God,
all
I'm not
welcome to
cutting out.
participate.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Jarek. You
Is
have
that-
a hook.
Is that
You can't
wise
lose.
to
I
arm
might as
wrestle
well.
a crab?
Jarek, you're invited to a special bracket for those who have lost their claws. So everyone you're competing against will have hooks or something like it.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
All right.
I
Your
do
first
a hook 5.
yeah. Your first competitor does not have a hook, but rather a crab equivalent that they've invented for themselves. It's scissors instead. They feel it's a more suitable replacement,
Okay.
but he gets a good grip of your hook, and you see the crabs clack down in unison. They're going to explain to Brandy to translate over to you. 3 clacks, then go. Okay?
All right, so I go okay, guys. Is there anybody
Yeah.
here I can bet with? Is you guys take bets?
They do, yeah.
I went in on this.
Yeah, guys. I turned to Rab just quite like, dude, bet against Jarek.
Can I bet too?
I want to arm wrestle a crab.
That I'll
Yeah,
lose.
I turned to Rab and just like bet against Jarek, and I just turned to Jarek. All right, Jarek, we're gonna clack their claws, and on the count of 4, that's when you actually go.
No. I have faith in him this time, you know? I already bet against
Aw.
him that he wouldn't make it for 4 days, so, you know, I'll give him this chance and bet 5 gold that he'll win.
That really touches me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
don't
right.
lose.
Well, they're going to keep the stakes pretty low for you guys. 1 gold each.
All right.
All right, Jarek. So you've been told on the count of 4. And you hear clack, clack, clack. and then you're surprised as this crab immediately begins pulling on your arm.
Gosh dang it, Brandy.
I'm like,
giving-
what?
What should I have you roll for that? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna guess dexterity because it's a speed of reaction at that point.
Yeah, you're gonna start with a dexterity check to
Saving
prevent
throw or
your
just,
immediate.
just
We
straight
can
up
do
dex?
saving. Yeah, dexterity saving throw.
Don't you screw this up for me.
Aw.
Oh my gosh.
Your hook slams down onto the table and gets embedded in the tabletop.
And I'll be like immediately like clack 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 clack, you know, like four clacks. I mean, and be like, "You told me 4."
The captain, who does speak common, laughs as best he can with his limited tonation and
I'm
says,
like, rematch.
I'm just collecting my gold I just won because I was betting against them.
"Oh, rematch. Okay." So
And I turn slowly to Brandy like I do one of those.
I just giggle a little as I take another swig of vodka.
all right. Well, Jarek, he agrees to the rematch. So we hear clack, clack, clack. And then your competition begins. You're ready for it this time on the count
Yeah.
of 3. So you can give me a strength check, athletics.
Athletic.
Athletics.
Nah.
Cool. I'm gonna have to roll mine. Okay. Oh, no, I think that was because of the 2Ds. There we go. All right.
Ah.
So you managed to overpower this crab, slamming his scissor claw to the ground.
Woo!
Yeah. Only gang scissored once tonight. You're on to your next round. But next we have Trick, who is also interested in arm wrestling against crabs.
I want to wrestle crab.
All right. Well, they have an opponent for you. You're in the regular bracket for people with 2 hands and/or claws. That and/or is a tricky business. You're in deep shit if you're into someone who somehow has 2 hands and 2 claws.
I have the tiger
That would
trick.
be an
I have the
experience.
tiger.
Yeah, luckily for you, your opponent only has 2 claws. Gripping hold of this claw, you're gonna keep your fingers outside of the place where the 2 claws meet, just grabbing onto it. You hear the clack countdown 3, 2, 1, and you're gonna give me an athletics check.
Oh.
That's better than I
Oh,
expected.
not plus 11. Yeah, you win. He rolled absolutely terribly. And you slam it down. They're amazed that this cat can be so strong. And is taking all their willpower not to snap at your tail as it whisks from side to side. It's
Maybe-
just a biological impulse for them, and it's very difficult for them to avoid
The
it.
first crab that does that is going to get a very stern look because I feel like if I claw it, I would probably get in trouble.
Is she gonna end up with a peg tail?
Pigtail.
Yeah.
Nobody may touch my tail.
Well, you each go on to the next round. Jarek, another athletics check from you.
All right.
Your opponent actually knows what he's doing this time.
Mm.
And after quite the fight, he manages to force your arm down. Back to you, Trek.
Alright, let me fight athletics again. Damn
Oh.
it.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
You missed the count entirely, and before you realize that you started, your paw is against the table, a bit sore. He really forced it down with quite a bit of strength. Was expecting quite the fight from you. They're all bubbling, laughing to themselves, realizing it was just a fluke the first time.
I'm just gonna go over to the corner and start cleaning myself off indignantly.
Then feeling a weird bond to these crabs, I pick up a glass of their drink and I go, "Rah!" and I take a good gulp.
And I just clap.
You're gonna give me
Well,
a
as he
Constitution
picks it up,
saving throw.
I start doing the crab clap for drink it.
All
So
right.
they all
I have
clap
a
along.
good. Apparently, I'm really good with this alcohol.
Yeah, you feel excellent.
If you can survive no alcohol, you can survive anything.
Pretty similar, honestly, when it comes down to it. All right. The captain signals from upstairs. You're moving into dock. Coming up above deck, you see the island towering in front of you and now overhead. You land at the docks, some crabs scuttling overboard and up the pier to rope you to the harbor pier. A gangplank is let out, and you disembark onto the cliffside. From here, it's going to be a long climb up to the top level where the Duke Shelley's castle awaits you.
I look up in awe and wonder and just start walking.
Yeah.
Is
Start walking
there any
fast.
guards? Is there any guards or anything? First I'll turn to my our escorts and I'll say, thank you. I had surprisingly a lot of fun with you guys.
As you're walking off the ship, you realize that Brunhilde, who you completely forgot about, has just been sitting on a bench at the back, holding her own beer. It looks like some of the beer that you got from the hermit crab Sandy. She glares at you and informs you, I'm just going to stay on the ship. You guys have fun storming the castle.
Nice quote there.
I think I'm just gonna do like the slow blink thingy at the crabs, by the way. I trust
Have
them now.
fun
Oh,
storming.
you're gonna. What was that? You're gonna slow
The
blink at the
slow
crabs?
blink cat thingy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the crab that beat me in the arm wrestle, I give him a little hug. Like,
Wait, did I hear correct? The Sandy's here?
No. Brunhilde is drinking some of Sandy's ale.
Oh, gotcha.
She apparently didn't really feel like sampling crab moonshine.
Oh, can I ask him for some crab moonshine to go?
Yeah. I mean, you yourself, not so much. Brandy, sure.
Brandy, get some of that moonshine.
All right. As I take as I just drink a little
They'll
more vodka.
hand you a small jug of it.
Yeah.
It's got a few servings in there.
All right.
It's for
Excellent. Good
sharing,
call.
Brandy. It's for sharing.
I've noticed
Aw.
that when Brandy is like a little bit tipsy and heading into drunk, he's like almost, you can't even understand what he's saying. But when he's really drunk, he can speak perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Could speak other languages perfectly
other
fine.
languages. Oh, that's so good.
Honestly, this is vaguely based on when I used to work at a Brazilian Portuguese steakhouse and used to have sliced meat, because they joked there that I became extra multilingual when I was like really hammered versus when I only had one or two drinks. I could like not talk, which is remarkably true.
I can appreciate that. Well, you're all led up this cliffside walk. Most of it is stairs, really steep. Some of it is ladders. Along the way, you pass some crab guards, equipped in specially made crab armor. They look like really adorable crab knights.
Crack knives.
Yeah, a little intimidating. Don't get any funny ideas. These guys aren't pushovers. Continuing up, you get to into their market district. There are holes in the wall everywhere where crabs are crawling in and out of. Some stalls set up along the road. It's quite loud with the clacking of their legs on the ground and their claws in the air as they communicate with each other. Brandy, you're coming down from your drunken stupor a bit, but you can still make out that it sounds pretty similar to a normal market in what they're saying, as they negotiate rates for just about everything. Fish, fishing gear, food for home life, shiny rocks, gold, trinkets.
Is
Just
there
about anything.
Is there a prosthetic limbs store?
There is. I think you would need a custom order though, since all the fittings here are for crab arms.
Dude, you could get a crab arm.
Well, I was thinking of getting a peg leg because Jarek has this strange feeling he's gonna be legless. No.
I don't know, man. If he looks out, if you look out, if you end up with a peg leg, it might have magical properties.
Yeah. No. I'm looking to because my hook, is a bit too short.
Oh, that's right, you do.
I wanna get it made like longer, like an extension for it.
Well, you do see a shop that has all manner of hook and hook-like attachments set up on display. They've got hooks, they've got scissor attachments, knife attachments, spatula attachments.
Is it called? Is the store called Hooks and More?
Actually, you know what? Seeing as how you have the one with your you have the one that can hold your broom, could it be possible to, for a quick special order, have them possibly, reshape the handle on that, or just use the base plate of that to make a new one?
That seems possible. No, the shop is called An Arm and a Leg.
That's awesome.
So the owner looks at you in a bit of disgust. Appears we have a bit of a racist on our hands. What are you gonna say to the owner? And how are you gonna say it?
Maybe
you should let Brandy do the talking.
Yeah, Brandy. I lean out the door. I'm like, Brandy. He might respect you because you speak crab.
I take a couple big old swigs of vodka and just kind of head on over.
As he takes a couple of swigs, I hold the bottle back so he drinks more.
Constitution saving throw again.
Oh God! Don't I get a advantage on this just due to long-term alcoholism?
You're never gonna get advantage with this one. All right. So you are used to these effects by now. You can't really feel any part of your body, but you're used to it and have complete control of your limbs still.
But not your bladder.
Thanks for that, Jarek. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going up to the
shop owner is yelling at you in Crabbish. Hey, what is you smelly meat bags doing in my stall?
Oh, I simply clap back. Pardon us, we have some business with the great Lord Shelley while we're here. However, my friend has lost a limb, and as such has been considering looking for some high quality options, such as I turned to Jarek as, what kind of hook did you want again?
I just need an extension to make it normal arm length.
I just turned and go, yeah, he's a little concerned about his size, and he needs one that's a little bit longer to, humans.
Yeah, a lot of people are concerned with the length of their prosthetics, if you know what I'm saying. But that doesn't change the fact that you're filthy meat bags. I ain't see no reason to be doing business with you.
Oh, is that? Wait, I don't even know what he's saying, do I?
Yeah.
Or do I?
Let's see.
His
Okay.
gestures definitely seem to be quite rude. You can pick that up, Jarek.
Derek, do you really need an extension right now?
I guess not.
I just turned to well we hopefully have some good business with Lord Shelley when we get done with that and come back by. Would you be interested in cutting a deal for getting him some better equipment? Because I've heard very positive things about the quality of the crab claws here.
We'll be like, no.
Wait,
No,
while they're having this conversation, can I try to steal it?
I just kind of want to wander off and go looking for either fish or shiny things to buy.
Trick, you can find plenty of fish and tons of shiny things. Crabs like both. So Rab, what are you gonna try and steal? You just gonna try and find a hook that looks long enough?
Yeah.
All right, you can see one hanging off up on the wall.
Okay.
It might be difficult though. Some of the crew from the ship are up there with you.
Well, never mind. I decided not to risk it.
Brandy, roll me a persuasion.
yeah, maybe name dropping was a good idea.
How much gold?
Ooh,
do
and I got a
have?
+3.
Just a little bit.
So the shop owner looks incredulous. Oh yeah, so you're just gonna walk up to the Duke and make some sort of deal, eh? Well, I'll tell you what. You make
Is
yourself
he a
deal
Boston
with-
crab?
Don't be ridiculous. Crabs don't live in Boston.
What was
This
that
is a
wrestling
New
move,
Yorker
the
crab.
Boston crab. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Does everyone here have a New York accent?
just this one. Tell you what, you come back here with a deal from the Duke, and I'll give you that extension for free. What about that?
I like the
Sounds
sound of
good.
that. Yes.
well, we'll be back soon then. Can I have it polished, please?
Oh my gosh, Jarek, let's go.
Get out of here!
I don't
Get outta here.
I don't even translate and go. Yes, obviously you can. Let's head on over to Lord Shelley.
Yeah.
Right.
How much gold do I have?
I do not know. Not a
It's
ton.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
how
have
d-
it listed.
I think you're about 20 gold. I can't remember. Did you take part in the Deadpool?
No.
Yeah, I think you got about 20 gold.
How much is it for shiny rocks?
Well, they have shiny rocks that range from a silver up to 3 gold. The ones were 3 gold. Really hard to see the appeal. They're real shiny, but not that much shinier than the cheaper ones. Clearly, you just don't have quite the same level of understanding of shiny rocks as these crabs do. They're quite the connoisseurs of shiny material.
I want to buy a few of the cheaper ones.
All right. Well, you're able to pick out 10 of these lower end shiny rocks in exchange for a gold.
Hey. Shiny rocks, I'm happy now.
Yep.
All right. So we're heading to the castle then.
Yes. You arrive at the castle and it has this beautiful, well-manicured tidal pool out front. Considering how far above the water you are, it's quite impressive that there's a tidal pool up here. It might be artificial. This guy's clearly loaded. Then some really well-manicured barnacle gardens leading up to a pristine gate guarded by 2 more crab knights. Captain Claw leads you through into the main reception room.
Is Claw a very common name in the crab kingdom? Can't speak.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
About a quarter of the crabs have the surname Claw.
It's like Smith and
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I go and knock on the door.
You're gonna knock on the door.
No. We gotta speak to the knights.
Oh,
No.
okay. Let's
Right,
speak to the knights.
I continue. Yes, I tap out and crab that we seek an audience for the great Shelley.
So, Captain Clog motions that this has his approval, and the knights open the door for you. And inside, you see this old, saggy crab. His eye stalks drooping down from his head to the point where they're practically below his carapace.
Wait, I just look before I go in the door. I look back to the store. Can I see that store with the prosthetics? Because I want to see if the shop owner is looking out the door.
Why would he be looking?
No, it looks like he's out front of his store, just looking at the crowd, smoking from his pipe.
Oh well, I just go in then.
All right,
So
so
close the gate behind you, and you're in the throne room with Duke Shelley himself.
all right. Let's see here. I believe I read a book on crabs. So do I understand the etiquette from this point?
You understand that in no scenario are you to raise your hands above your head and pretend that they're claws.
I was just about to take my hat off. So, I'll leave this as well. I did.
I reach over, like grab his hand as it goes up, and just throw it downwards, and then just quick, yeah.
I'm like, hey guys.
He goes out. I grab his hand and slam and throw it downwards, and I knock the hat off the back of his head so it's down, so I can pick it up and bend over to get it, and then I just kind of do a half bow curtsy combination of.
How's it crack-a-lacking?
And I address him. Your great honor. It is a great honor to meet you, Sir Shelley. I have heard many rumors of your power and the extent of your kingdom, and I'm curious if you are interested in trades that would be beneficial in your war with the great Megazord Lobsters.
What do you know about our war with the lobsters?
Well, I've heard rumors. You see, I was visiting a land to the north, and they would often do battle with the towns up there, and we had much trouble with them. And quite frankly, we had to develop new armament to deal with that. And we were hoping that our technology could be most beneficial to both of us. For we would like to also see the Megazord Lobsters pushed out.
Well, certainly. Our war with the Megazord Lobster has been centuries in the work.
Somehow I knew he was going to say that.
Centuries. They're truly our greatest foe, rivaled only by you smelly humans and who just insist on invading this land.
Eric is smelly.
We are humans, and we kind of smell.
Is he speaking common or crab right now?
Crab.
Except for Trick.
He does not lower himself to speak common tongue.
And I nod in agreement and say, yes, I have listened to the beautiful sea shanties in your songs of the betrayals and issues. Being a man of trade and brewer of alcohol, I must say, I definitely sympathize with when things go bad and deals do not work as they are hoped. We have already cut a deal with many peoples on the way here, and we're hoping that we could set up a trade route with you that would provide you with the weapons, the best weapons known to us anyway, for dealing with those dreaded Megazord lobsters.
You can give me another persuasion roll. He's struggling to take you seriously. Since you said you were a brewer, he knows how weak human alcohol is. All right. Well, let's see these weapons you're talking about.
All right. So yeah, I turn to Trick and Rab and say and tell them, put on the demo that you learned before we left. Show them. And I turn to him and say, they have only been using these weapons for a day, but even with their little experience, you will see the power and efficacy of these weapons. As I take another swig of vodka.
Little experience.
Well,
I'll show you a little experience.
I just look
You
personally
do
offended
all
at
the time,
little
Rabe.
experience.
You show us little experience all the time.
pulling out the mace and the lobster cracker, the knights level their spears at you in anticipation. They're all familiar with these types of weapons. They've been used against them many times. But they're going to let you continue with your demonstration. Just don't get any funny ideas.
Yes. And yes, I nod and explain to him, like, and on top of these weapons that you may have seen before, our iron worker has actually agreed to shape them according to the needs of your claws and the designs of your soldiers, so that they may unleash death and destruction upon the dreaded Megazords.
Duke Shelley nods in satisfaction.
I nod and be like, show them the basic techniques. And
so you're gonna each give me an attack roll with your chosen weapon.
Make it good.
Well, I only have fists and short sword.
It's gonna be the same roll as your short sword.
Okay.
Why can I not find anything?
That was a pretty good roll.
What weapons do you have, Rob?
I don't have.
Because the lobster cracker is dexterity based, so you can just roll your dagger.
But I don't. Where's my dagger?
What do you mean, where's your dagger?
I don't see it.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Well, Trick, you are clearly an expert at this mace. And with a great show of acrobatics and form, as you were taught, you show off some decisive moves. It's not typical for them, but the crabs put both of their claws together to clap. Rab's pretty slow in operating his lobster crackers, but he is able to operate them as he would a pair of nunchucks. And, it is sufficient, it looks like. They don't look terribly dangerous in his inexperienced hands, but luckily they know firsthand that these crackers can easily smash through the shell of any crustacean, even a Megazord lobster.
And I turn to Shelley, and as you can see, these weapons, these new developments, are oversized and developed explicitly for the breaking of the lobsters. And I simply say, would a couple of your lovely knights like to be instructed in how to use them themselves as well? We can provide this as well as a simple bonus.
Certainly. Our much more capable crab soldiers can surely master these tools faster than any wimpy human could imagine.
And I simply nod like, yes, we are tradesmen, not soldiers. So it would actually be, I'm certain soldiers would be far more proficient at this than these two. And then I ask about approximately how big of an army would you be needing to arm in this case, or what sizes would be your squadrons, etc.
Well, I'm not going to go ahead delivering my exact tactical numbers to the enemy.
I nod and go, of course, obviously, just your needs.
Assuming that these fit our requirements, I would be interested in acquiring perhaps 100 of each to start, with larger orders to follow.
That sounds satisfactory. And what was the price that I was originally paying on these?
I think it was 2 gold for the mace and like 4 gold for the claws. They're gonna go ahead and try out the both weapons. They operate the mace with ease, but the claws the crackers seem very difficult to operate in their claws, and one of them just flails about trying to use it.
All right, I instruct Rab like well, no, actually, hang on, let me think for a second. Okay, so I nod in agreement, and I propose 3.5 gold per hammer, and how much was the crackers again?
2.
No,
The crackers were 4.
Four.
4.
And 6 per gold delivered, and we have a ship out there. You simply have to guarantee the passage of our ship back and forth, as the wonderful Captain Claw was kind enough to see us through.
These seem like agreeable terms, but before I accept this contract, you're going to need to prove their effectiveness in combat. You see,
How did I know this was coming?
All right, I simply nod and go, of course, and I simply go, guys, prepare yourselves, and
For what?
we have to do a live demonstration.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
there
Maybe he
was
wants
a
us to fight
small
some-
band of Megazord Lobsters, a couple islands over, raiding from shore to shore. Captain Claw here was just out headed to meet them when he encountered you all coming to invade my very home. So now you can accompany him and show off your technique taking on these Megazords yourself. If you succeed, not only will I grant you your contract and potentially open up trade routes for other goods with your people, but I will grant each of you a seat in my crab court.
I give a basic translation to everybody of what has happened, and I just simply say this is agreeable, and after we crush these lobsters, hopefully you can also hook me up with a brewer or one of the brewers of your brilliantly beautiful moonshine. It is truly wonderful in its power and flavor.
Wait. I did not agree to these. I came with you guys find a wizard, not fight some Megazord lobster dudes.
One of the crab translators is whispering to the Duke, and after some hushed discussion back and forth, he speaks to you in common. It's like, if you don't wish to participate in this raid against the lobsters, you're more than welcome to wait in our cells.
Okay, so Rave, how does this sound, right? We help them out with this thing. Then, when we've been given positions in his court, we can use our newfound, positions to maybe better track down this wizard. Seeing as crabs seem pretty good at tracking people down, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know. Jail doesn't sound that great, I guess. So
It's a perfectly good jail if you are a crab.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not a crab.
I simply go. I simply turn to him and just say, "We're going to have an entire ship backing us up, dude. We just have to play smart and display those skills that we have learned, and we are simply tradesmen. And if we can do this, then surely they will have faith in everyone." And then I just lean in quietly and say to him, and not to mention, we're going to have a giant trade route set up, and we're going to have basically access to everything we need to track this wizard down.
If we can do this, but sure, I'll go along.
And I just look at Rab and just go, you know as well as I do, the only thing it's going to do is try to attack Jarek. I don't know why, but everything just likes to kick his ass. So just wait for it to go on him, and then we attack it.
And he's
I'm-
notoriously known as One Punch Man.
I'm
around.
standing right
Always up.
there, and I'm like, dude.
So, do we
Yeah,
have an accord?
I nod and say, I agree to these terms, and
I do
let us
too.
set sail with the great Captain Claw, and take on these Megazord lobsters and their cruel and evil ways.
All right. Well, Captain Claw laughs heartily and then leads you all back down through the market. The shopkeeper from Arm and a Leg sees you being escorted out of the city and says, "Yeah, you get out of here, you lazy bums."
I'm like, I'll have you know, this is part of our deal. I'll be back. Don't you worry.
I simply don't translate. I just nod. I'm like, let's keep going, guys.
He
I do wanna-
screams after you, Jarek. Like, if you're gonna stay around here, learn the language, foreigner.
I
You
go,
don't belong here unless you can speak Crabbish.
I do one of those. Like that kind of gesture, you know?
He does the same gesture back, but much more forceful. You feel terribly insulted and embarrassed. You don't know precisely what that meant, but it was definitely just about the most despicable swear he could have managed.
I simply I simply turn and say, guys, we have much bigger things ahead of us. Much bigger things that look like lobsters.
Oh man. I don't know how I feel about this.
All right. Well, arriving back at the ship, Brunhilde is sitting below deck, just with a nail file doing her nails. You're gonna have to explain the situation to her, and when you do, she is less than pleased.
Typical.
I'm like, we have custom weaponry. We're all equipped and we're all experienced in combat. This cannot be that bad.
Well, not exactly experienced, but I know I look intimidating, guys. But really, there's a soft, chewy nugget core in the inside of this manly package here.
I hope that we don't get to the chewy core. That means we've really failed if we end up there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, disembarking, the ship immediately heads out. The captain explains to you that it's honestly a pretty short sail over to the small base that the lobsters have established. And with your help, it should be an easy route.
All right, ask him for any intel he has that could be useful.
Pretty similar to how you would approach a Voltron crab. Really, don't let them combine. They have weak joints, the base of the tail and the base of the arms.
For when their powers combine, they become Voltron. No,
Megazord.
All right, let's do this, guys. I vote we go and slaughter. I vote tonight we dine on lobster.
Ooh. I never thought about that. Yeah, I like lobster.
Yeah. Maybe
So-
we can, if we're gonna be killing these quite frequent, we could probably start serving lobster meals at the Flaming Choir Boy.
Oh my God, that's a great trout root idea. Actually, we can not only
Yeah.
eliminate them, but we can actually set up a.
That way, the crabs don't even have to deal with disposing of the bodies.
Yeah.
This trip is getting better all the time, guys.
Yeah.
You propose
I'm
this
on board
idea
now.
to the captain, and he is more than willing for you guys to take the corpses with you. That should strike some fear into these damn lobsters.
Yeah. Can you imagine serving like a giant lobster? You know, people would pay so much gold.
Yeah.
So you're coming up on the location of the lobsters' fortifications. It appears to be a rocky shoal, partially submerged in water. Some areas are above the water line, but a lot of it sinks just below the water. You can't really see the lobsters. You have to assume that they're lurking just below the surface.
I asked the captain, is there any way we can draw them out up onto the beach for due to the fact that we are not, we humans are not well built in the to fight in water?
Yeah, we should be able to get them up onto the surface. We're their equals in numbers, so we can just force them out of the water towards you.
Sorry about that. My sister decided to call.
Just in case.
In time, we'll forgive you.
All right. Okay. So, all right. That sounds like a good plan. They come at us. We hit them, and you know what? This sounds like what you. I've heard this referred to in the crab world. We use the same term. Is this what you would call a pincer attack?
Haha. I'm glad you have picked up on our patented battle tactics.
All right. I look around. All right, guys. If there's any punji sticks or bamboo or anything we can like use to set up to kind of encamp ourselves better or fortify ourselves.
Do they have any buildings on the land?
There appear to be some walls built up out of rocks. Doesn't look like a real serious fortification, though.
I'll be right back, but if we're gonna do combat, I will roll it. Be right back.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, all right, guys. Unless you guys got a better strat, I'm gonna vote we position. I'm assuming if it's a low rock wall, we could probably swing down upon them as they charge. So.
It's a good idea. Trick, give me an initiative. You two, Rab.
Let me get to my sheet because I just had to refresh.
Yep.
Why can I never find any of these? What the heck?
Wait, how
Because
many?
it's near the top.
How many level 1 spells do I have?
I don't know. I think 2. I think you have 2 spell slots.
I got you.
All right.
Nice.
So you're gonna scoot in sneaky beaky like, catch them by surprise. So go ahead and give me a stealth check, everyone. I'll take care of Jarek's. Well done.
You know, the fact that I get +5 on stealth, doesn't that mean I rolled a 6?
I'm seeing your plus. Yeah, you rolled a 6. All right. Well, turns out you guys are not going to be terribly stealthy approaching from the water, except for Rab, who seems surprisingly well suited for this Navy SEALs tactic.
Yep, as in the SEALs, back in the day.
Seals? I thought we were
That's
dealing with crabs. What the hell?
Yeah, the SEALs are on the other coast. It is an elite fighting force of SEALs and sea lions.
Right back.
I'm just gonna say that my excuse is that it's because it's water.
Yeah.
Is Derek
Brynhilda's
wrong?
not going to be joining you. She explicitly told you that this was the kind of thing she was hoping to avoid.
Yeah. Just sounds like Bernhilda.
Buzz,
Always leaving us to do the dirty work.
sounds like Buzz Kilda.
Well, stop fighting in the water, and maybe she'll actually come out sometime.
Alright.
All right, I guess we're
Does
gonna.
Derek have to roll?
I gave Jarek his rolls.
I guess.
okay.
I guess we've lined up. I'm gonna assume we're lined up on the rocks, and we're gonna signal them we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let me just 20 plus 1. Damn. All right. So, you all descend onto the rocks from the ship as quietly as you can. Peeking over the wall, you see a couple of lobster sentries. At first, you go unnoticed. Turns out lobsters are not built particularly well to act as sentries. But as you scale over the walls, a couple of rocks come loose, and their eyes swivel to face you, immediately spotting Jarek, Trick, and Brandy. Rab rolls to the side and stays in the shadows. And into combat we go. Rab, you're up first.
Alright. I'm gonna try
You
to
see,
stab
you
him.
see two lobsters so far above the water.
Okay. And am I like behind him?
You
Or-
are
well, I
off
guess
to the
I'm-
side.
Okay. I want to try to sneak around and like stab one in the back.
Okay. Well, you are stealthed, so go ahead and give me your attack roll.
Whoa. Wait. Where is it?
That's a good question. Where is it? Asking the real philosophical questions on the stream.
Yes.
Where it is? Why is it?
Where is
Do you
it?
really need to fight
Who
lobsters?
is it? Am I still using my dagger? Or
You tell me. You're
Ah.
probably using your dagger.
Yeah,
Your short
let's-
sword will work as well. Okay. Oh, you actually roll it again for me. You get advantage since this is a sneak attack.
Sweet.
You lunge in with your dagger, stabbing them right towards the heart. Only problem is you forgot these are lobsters, and just your dagger clacks and clatters off of the shell as you aim for its most heavily armored part of the body. Next up, we have Brandy.
All right. Do I have a hammer, or am I stuck with my regular stuff? I don't.
You have one of your two. You have one of the two hammers. Yes.
All right. In that case, I just kind of. How are these lobsters lined up?
They are directly in front of you, Jarek, and Trek. Rab is off to their side. They are right next to each other.
All right, I'm gonna go in right, well, kind of like right to the left of Rab there, and come in just hammer a smashing right for the first lobster.
Okay. Let's see the roll.
Would that be strength?
Yeah, it's gonna be strength based. Yeah, sure. So you're gonna hit it with this hammer. Let me.
Oh man, I was coughing so much I threw up.
It's a good reason for us to wrap this up soon. So it's going to be 1d6 damage.
All right.
Oh, well. Okay. So 5 damage to this lobster as you approach. Which brings us to Jarek.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, I'll attack that same one. May as well
All right,
take him
go for
down.
it.
Oh man.
Thanks for hanging in there, trooper.
All right.
I'm so much better with the hook call of my fist.
Yeah. Swinging with the long sword, you swing right over its head. If this had been a normal person, it probably would have hit pretty effectively. But lobsters stay pretty low to the ground. But going in with a hook, you get a nice slash at one of its joints, dealing an impressive 7 damage to it.
Nice.
Trick, you're up.
Don't I have the other hammer?
Yes, you do.
Can I beat the one that has already been attacked over the head with the hammer?
Yes, you certainly may.
Should I roll strength?
It's
Should I roll
the.
for weapon?
You can roll with your weapon. It should be the same roll as your short sword, honestly.
Alrighty.
And keeping up the tradition, You fail to hit with this first strike.
I have terrible aim.
These lobsters are pissed. One of them begins crawling over towards the other. And locking claws with one another, they begin to link up. Holding hands, they already seem to have grown in strength.
Oh shit.
Well, fuck.
Taking the lobster that he has just gripped in his claws, one of them swings that whole lobster at you, flailing the tail of his partner into your faces. He's going to go for Brandy first.
Is that dexterity or a save?
Not yet. Does a 14 hit you?
Let me check.
Actually, it's a 15. Yeah, it's a 14. Okay.
My armor class is 10, but I'm not sure how I calculate on that since I leveled up.
So, are you wearing armor?
I mean, I don't recall taking it off. I've been assuming I did.
I'm sorry. Then your armor class is higher than 10. I just can't remember what your armor is. No, you have unarmored defense, so you at least have 13. Yeah, you have 13 armor, so this is gonna hit you
Okay.
for 7 damage.
Ouch.
The lobster is going to grapple you. You're going to give me a dexterity saving throw. All right. You dodge out of the way as the lobster's claw swings by you as it tries to grab hold of you. It lands on the ground on the other side of its lobster partner, and heaving with all its strength, it swings the other lobster towards you. In this rather impressive acrobatic move. You're going to dodge under its tail as it swings by like a scythe, but it's going to reach out to try and grab you with the claw. But this one snips just short, giving you a close shave.
Whee! Yeah. I'm hurt from that first hit. I'm like, but I want to make the sell, so I'm like, that don't mean nothing.
One of them slaps its tail on the water behind it, sending out these percussive waves through the water, through the tidal pool behind it. Looking into the depths, you can see a few more lobsters stir from their slumber underwater and make their way towards the surface.
Oh man.
Looking further out, you can see sneaking up from the side some of your crab friends, making way to surround them and force them up onto the land where they can be dealt with. We're gonna get back to Rab.
Okay. Can I sneak up behind the one that has the lowest health?
Sure, you're gonna have to give me a stealth roll. Sneaking into the water,
Ooh.
you should be able to get out of view very effectively. You roll behind them. Lobsters do not have great peripheral vision. Standing directly behind them, you're entirely out of view. Are you going to be attacking with a lobster cracker?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and give me that roll with your short sword with advantage. I'm going to be adjusting numbers accordingly, so you can go ahead and roll again. Not much that I can do to help you on that one. These lobster crackers, while formidable weapons for use against these lobsters,
It's not very good with them.
still require a bit of skill.
Noob.
Clearly. The lobster is surprised as he notices behind him.
If
but
you don't
doesn't-
have 3 gold, go on a tank.
Brandy, back to you.
Hey, I'm good at sneaking, okay?
All right. The lobster that is closest to me, the easiest shot I got, can I fire off inflict wounds?
Sure.
All right. So melee attack, and
Oh, what does inflict wounds do, JJ?
it's a level 1.
Does it inflict wounds?
Yes. It's amazingly well named.
All right.
That's
Well-
what it says on the tin.
All right. So melee, I believe. All right. So do I
Yes.
just use fists?
Mm-hmm. That is going to bounce off the shell of this lobster as you strike out with your necrotic damage. This lobster is pissed. Back to Jarek.
Yeah. Now the one that's the most injured, the one that Rabe tried to attack, is it bloodied?
Let me see. It looks a bit worse for wear.
Okay.
I
Well-
wouldn't call it bloodied.
I'll go loco on its ass then and do my 1-2.
Fun fact: lobster's blood's blue because it contains hemocyanin.
Some sciencey word.
Yeah.
Well, striking out with your longsword this time, you're able to get a great slash on it. Now it appears to be on the brink of death.
Ha.
But with your fists, you slide off of its carapace as it deflects your blow. Which brings us to Trick.
I kind of want to try to hit that one that's nearly dead.
That's a good idea.
I'm
Let's-
just gonna use the short sword roll for the hammer.
Okay. Nope. That's not quite gonna get it. So
Really fucking shitty aim.
Or they're pretty heavily armored, so that's the main thing.
slipping a bit on the seaweed at your feet, you're trying to stab right into its eye socket, but you're deflected right on the base, and it scratches along its armor. At this point, the lobster's companions are emerging from the depths. 3 more of them have appeared.
Oh man.
They're moving to cut Rab off from behind.
Wait, we've got to. I yell. We've got to keep these guys separated.
So, let's see. Rab, one of them is going to strike out at you from behind. Does a 16 hit?
Oh.
Was that a no?
Wait, what? What'd you
I'm
say?
Does a 16 hit? The
Oh,
answer is probably yes.
yeah.
Okay. So he is going to strike out at you with his claw, hitting you for 4 damage. A second one takes a swing at you with his claw, missing, and a third one with his, landing a decisive blow on you for 5 damage.
Oh.
You're going to give me a dexterity saving throw now to avoid him grabbing onto you and grappling you. You're able to break free from his claw before he can close his grip around your arm.
Oh, thank God.
The crab that is in front of you, who is now on the brink of death, is trying to scuttle around to face you. He takes another swing at you. Does a 12 hit you?
I don't think so. I think you got 14.
Wait, how do I check? I don't think I did.
Your AC.
13 is your AC. You're fine.
Okay.
So you're able to dodge under his claws. He swings at you. Our final crab, grabbing hold of his lobster companion with both arms, swings him like a club at Brandy. Missing entirely. His lobster companion is relieved, since he probably couldn't take being smashed into your drunk head with all that he has left in him. Back to Rabe.
I want to hit the almost dead one.
All right, give me another attack roll. That's a tough one. Give me one more roll. Yes,
Oh,
you're fine. You're going to deal this remaining 4 damage as you jump onto its back and with the lobster crackers around his neck, crush his head. In one last plea for mercy, it collapses on the ground. His lobster brethren sheds one tear. You've never seen the lobster cry before. It's very emotional.
I immediately like lift my hammer and like point at the next lobster, just like, you're next.
Prove it. You're up. Actually, Rabe, did you want to take a bonus action? Disengage from the other lobsters or hide or something?
yeah. I want to sneak up behind the nearest one.
All right. You're going to have to do that with disadvantage at this point since 3 of them are just facing you right now, trying to kill you.
Okay.
You are not able to sneak away from them. You have 6 beady eyes locked on you.
Oh man.
Brandy,
You know it's hard to sneak when you have a peg leg.
I'm sure someone will eventually make that observation. Brandy, you're up.
I found this. This is the lobster after his friend died.
Yes,
All right.
that's accurate.
Okay, so I'm just going to, I suppose, I'm going to position myself the best I can and come swinging in with the hammer on the next one.
All right, go for it. So you are able to smash him with a hammer this time. Go ahead and give me your damage roll.
So that's 1d6, right?
1d6 plus your strength modifier, which I think is 0 for you if I remember. I can't remember.
Now let me check. I might have.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah,
You
0.
Okay. 2 damage. You get a good thump down right between his eye stalks, and his vision goes blurry for a minute before settling on you again. With his claw, he wipes away his one lobster tear. Jarek, you're up.
Whereabouts are the crabs? Are they how close are they?
Under the water, about, I don't know, 20 feet away, you can see deadly combat as crabs and lobsters wage war.
Oh, so they're fighting their own deal, right?
They're pushing them back towards the shore, which may or may not be good for you.
Yeah, that's yeah. Then I'll try and hit the most injured one first with my long sword.
All right.
And
All right. Ha! That was a good choice there, Jarek, trying to catch him off guard with that feint with the longsword, setting him up nicely for that excellent stab with your claw. Dealing 8 damage. You slash at his neck. It's a pretty deep wound, but Using one of his claws, he is able to hold himself together. Trick, you're up.
I don't have much faith in myself, but I'm going to try to beat it over the head with the hammer.
All right, let's see the attempt. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Finally!
Leaping into the air, Trick hoists the hammer over her head and comes crashing down on its neck, forcing open the wound that Jarek had just opened, spilling its guts out onto the rocks below you. See a nice piece of lobster meat exposed, and ripping it from its corpse, you eat it raw. It tastes delicious.
Damn.
The 3 lobsters that were in back are furious. Switching targets, 2 of them move towards you, Trick. Intertwining their claws, they link together, and then with one claw from either of them, lash out at you from either side. One of them manages to hit you. Oh, there it is. For 8 damage. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
I had to math. Okay, shit.
Oh, you are not able to avoid their claws.
Fuck.
It grips you tightly. Just as the 3rd one, seeing your plight, scrambles up onto its 2 compatriots and makes his attack.
Fuck.
Swinging successfully, he is able to hit you for 8 more damage.
Oh, damn.
I have 5 health left.
Give me another dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
You are able to dodge your head as he goes for your neck, avoiding his claw from latching onto you, sealing your fate.
Guys?
really got the cat by the throat there. Or nearly got the cat by
2 more lobsters emerged, fleeing from the crab carnage below. One of them scuttles off to the side, trying to avoid all this fighting, getting out to sea. The other one, seeing Rab in his way, begins to attack.
Oh,
Well, that sucks.
Rab, stab that punk ass lobster.
What the fuck? Okay. So you are going to take 8 damage, Rab.
oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, he crit.
Oh,
Shit.
damn.
And then roll.
I told you guys this is a bad idea. I mean,
Going for your leg, he forces you down onto the rock. You go unconscious as your head hits the ground. He clacks his claws in triumph. And then continues to scuttle over your body towards Brandy.
Isn't clacking the crab thing, don't they more like snip?
what's the
Wow.
difference?
I don't know.
It's true. It is more of a snip. You are accurate on your crab versus lobster battle rituals.
Weird question. Do I have everything I need to cast Bane?
Let me see. Bane. Yes. Yeah, you do.
All right.
So, Rape, you're gonna give me a death saving throw.
Oh no. One man. Crit it. Crit it. Crit it. Can you roll it? Skeckle.
Skeckle, you got to roll your saving
I got
throw.
it for you. Don't worry about it. Success.
Oh, I can hear you guys now. I was like, you're talking. I don't know what you're saying, but
Yeah,
Oh.
we just did your saving throw for you. You're still alive.
Sweet. Okay, well, it's a success. So
All right. Well done. You managed to fight off death motivated by this rude lobster crawling over your body as if you were some piece of driftwood washed up on this beach. Brandy, you're up.
Oh, casted Bane.
Okay. Bane. Charisma saving throw. What is the save DC?
Oh, I thought this meant I could. Hang on. What's the actual effect of this? I may not be understanding this correctly.
So they're going to make charisma saving throws. The level that they have to hit is based on your spell save DC, which is 14. So they have to roll at least a 14. If they fail, you make an attack roll against them.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna say.
Oh, whenever in a target that fails, this makes an attack roll. They subtract from their attack roll or saving throw. Okay, so I'm gonna roll for them. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 4 lobsters in the way. But let's see how 3 of them do. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them have. 2 of the 3 have failed their saving throws and become subject to the effects of Bane. So I'll go ahead and adjust their damages as they hit later. Jarek, you're up.
Okay, the one that's like... wait, how many are right next to us now?
There are 3 next to you, and 1 off to the side next to Brandy.
And one of the ones next to me is the one that attacked Rabe.
The one next to Brandy is the one that attacked Rabe. The ones, the group of 3 are attacking Trick. They've managed to create a formation.
Oh no. Is there a way to break that formation?
Sure. Killing one of them or pulling it away or knocking it off.
Okay, well, if there's one more injured than the others, I guess I'll attack it.
I don't think damage has been done to any of those 3.
It has been now.
So you're going to deal 8. Let me see that. Jarek. Okay. So you're going to deal 8 damage to the one that has a grip on Trick.
Yep.
I'm going to. It is going to keep its grip on her, though, unfortunately. Moving on to Trick. So you are grappled, Trick, so you cannot move away.
I want to try to hit with my hammer.
All right, go for it.
Remember, you can punch as well as a bonus action.
Wait, I can do both?
Yeah.
You can.
And I want to do both.
All right, let's start with the hammer.
Fuck.
You are flailing with the hammer. You are unable to hit.
God damn it.
And scratching with your claws does not appear to be very effective against lobsters, for your information.
I am a very fluffy ball of anger.
The lobsters are intertwining their legs now as they really get in position to form their Megazord. They just need a couple more to really become their most intimidating form.
Oh man.
They're going to go ahead and lash out. The one that already has a grip on you swings with its other claw, dealing... Dealing 3 damage to you, Trick. The other 2 luckily missed.
Lord, I have to help.
Apparently interrupted by their formation. It's actually really hard to get a good swing in at you from standing next to or on top of one another.
How are our crab brethren doing over there?
It appears that they're winning the fight down below. The lobsters were definitely caught by surprise.
Good.
All right. Well,
Brave, death saving throw, please.
Dude, okay. Where?
Every time.
It's under your initiative.
Dude, this stuff moves.
right.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I got you.
Oh, I
10 is actually good enough. Yes. That is 2 successes.
Sweet.
All right. On to Brandy.
All right. First off, can I slap my hands together and request assistance from the crabs?
Dude, we just gotta go towards the crabs or
Yeah.
something.
And then I'm after telling them we are not soldiers, we need help, and then I rush in and attack the one that's got trick.
All right. Let's see this attack roll. Slapping the lobster, it is mildly annoyed. You can go ahead and give me an attack with your fists, though, given that you are a monk.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Nice.
With your fists, though, you were able to smash into its eye socket, disorienting it, and it lets go of Trick.
Am I allowed to just sort of like scramble away a little bit?
In a second, it's almost your turn.
Okay.
Um,
I'm still annoyed.
back to Jarek.
Okay, I'll try and finish that one off. Just as it's been punched in the eye, I'll go in with my longsword. And then follow up.
Yeah. You are especially deadly with your hook today. With 6
Ooh,
more damage,
Arcana.
you managed to seriously damage its claw. It is down to really its right claw at this point. Its left claw made just about useless.
Did you get an Arcana check for fire on that?
Well, you can just use your produce flame whenever. Like you're
can,
familiar
can't
with that. Trick, you're up.
I kind of want to like back off a little bit before deciding if I should attack.
Okay. So let me take a quick look at your character. That's too bad. Sure. How are you gonna do that?
Pretty much just take a couple steps back to catch my breath.
So you could use disengage as your action this turn. Unfortunately, actually, I can't remember. Monks don't get the disengage until level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the issue. Because of your multi-classing, at level 2, you don't have anything to give you disengage as a bonus action, despite the fact both your classes would get it at level 2.
Yeah.
So you can just take it as an action. You just won't be able to attack this turn.
You know what? I might as well just attack them.
All right. You can go ahead.
I'm probably gonna fail
Give
miserably.
me your attack roll.
Statistically, you have to hit at least once there.
Aha! All right.
What's the plus?
Yeah.
Do you
Why
have
did it do
a-
the crit damage?
Do you have a dex modifier? Let me take a look. Yeah, you do. Just a second. Let me take a look. 1d4.
Oh yeah,
Plus
that's
dex.
3.
I'm gonna re-roll that damage for you. So you're gonna hit them for 5 damage. 5, 11, 12, 13. All right, killing the lobster that had previously grabbed onto you. Murdering it, it rolls over onto its side, its legs collapsing under it, toppling the formation as the topmost lobster rolls down next to his partner.
Are these prone?
The top one is prone. The one next to him is still in good fighting stance.
Okay.
Our
Okay.
prone lobster is going to take his movement, though, to rise from being prone. And then is going to lash out at Jarek, who has been being real annoying with this hook so far.
5 damage?
He missed.
Oh.
Yeah, that previous roll was just getting damage for Trick.
Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah.
The other one swings out at Trick, failing miserably. It appears to have damaged one of its eye sockets in the previous tumble, losing its depth perception. Our last remaining lobster swings out at Brandy, missing him as well. They're panicking now.
All right.
The crabs are closing in from behind, and you are holding your own in front of them.
All right. I have a crazy ass idea. Is it my turn?
Almost. Rabe, give me your death saving throw.
I know where it is this time.
All right.
Oh,
Maybe you should leave me to
yeah.
roll these for
can
you.
roll next time.
All right, Rabe. You seem to be doing pretty well, but some of the salt water just washed up into your mouth, and you are struggling not to drown in it. Brandy, you're up.
All right. This is a crazy one. Okay, what's the condition? Okay, how many lobsters are we down to?
We are down to 3 lobsters.
And are all 3 of these guys relatively fresh, or how are they positioned?
2 are to the left of you, Brandy. 1 is to the right. They all seem to be pretty fresh.
Okay. I grab. Oh, this is a crazy ass one, but it might just work. I grab, because it's raw grain alcohol. I grab the liquor that Rab got from the guys on the
I can reduce flame.
Yep. I grabbed that. I grabbed the liquor that he had picked up at the ship when he negotiated when we left. And I then used produce flame to make because pure liquor is going to burn even on top of salt water. I'm just going to make a little wall between us and the 2, and then I'm going to turn back using my cantrip, my flame, and I'm going to turn back and point at the other one and raise my hammer and be like, "Your turn," as I attempt to intimidate him, and then using my drunken ability of language to be like, "Last chance to get out of here."
I'm not going to let you do all of that.
Fuck. I'll take what I can get.
Because the cantrip is an action. So you can go ahead and pick up your grain alcohol, throw it, and go ahead and try and intimidate the last lobster.
I can light that.
I think lighting it you're going to have to leave to someone else. Give me an intimidation check.
All right.
Haha. This lobster is visibly shaken as it begins to back off, scuttling backwards. You have an attack of opportunity against him as he tries to run away.
I was like, let him go towards those crabs. We got the other 2 to deal with, so.
All right. Jarek, you're up.
I will use produce flame.
All right. Lighting up your hook, it is suddenly covered in a bright red flame.
And I project it off. I launch it at
All right. You fling it successfully into the puddle of moonshine next to the lobsters, and they are bathed in the light of this massive billowing flame as it cuts them off from Brandy.
I
Trick.
wonder if I can throw a dart. Oh no, I can't. That would be a...
Where am I in relation to like the fire and the other 2 lobsters?
You are not well positioned considering the fire.
God damn it, Brandy.
Running straight backwards
actually just
might
spell
get
that.
you away, but you really can't walk towards Brandy anymore. Jarek
Can
is
I
still
actually
near
yell
you.
that at Brandy? Can I actually yell God damn it, Brandy? Because I want to do that. And then I'm just gonna... Wait. So where am I in relation to the crabs?
You have two crabs in front of you. They were swinging wildly as they attempted to latch onto you.
I feel like backing off would be the best course of action here.
How are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna use my action to back off a little.
Okay. You disengage away from these lobsters and manage to somersault backwards as they try and grab hold of you. But you are far too agile for them to actually get a good hold. You are out of range of these lobsters and far enough away from the fire to really maneuver around it as you please.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna stay put where I am now. Since it seems
All
like
right.
one safe.
The lobsters don't really know what to do, and having heard that Brandy can apparently speak lobster, they call out for mercy. Mercy, meatbags! Please let us live!
I simply tap back to them that then flee into that and let us go, and then let us go our ways. Flee back into the ocean, and may you get away from this army of crabs that are coming up behind you.
They gladly scuttle up over the wall, away from the crabs behind them.
Yeah, and if
All right. Well, the lobsters have left you, and it appears that the crabs have been victorious. You can see now the crabs emerging from the water, stacked 3 high at this point, in a massive formation of probably 10 crabs. These Megazord lobsters never stood a chance.
all right, so I just say, all right. So first, let's stabilize Rab. I believe I have a beer for that, a resistance or something beer. We picked up the one that's left.
I'm like, Brandy, move aside. Let me help him.
Just don't let me do it.
Just don't
Remember what
kill me.
happened last time.
I let Jared go. He's like, I'm like, all right.
I go over and I tried to stabilize him, but at the same time, I'm gonna see how much gold he has.
Oh my gosh.
Roll sleight of hand for me.
Because he
Get
claims
him.
to never have anything.
What? Who's rolling?
Ah,
You grope him up real good and find a couple of coins in unexpected places.
I take him.
Now
But
give me a medicine check for this.
I am concerned for him as well.
All right. You are able to stabilize him. Really just slap his face a couple of times, just telling him to wake up. Wake
How much
up,
did I
Rab.
get from him?
All right, Rab. You come to, and Jarek pulls you out of the tide so that you're no longer being slowly drowned by the incoming tide.
How much gold did I get from him?
3 gold.
Okay.
Wow.
Rab, you're still feeling a bit numb, but also a bit violated.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't.
All right.
I can't believe you guys talked me into going here. I didn't want to do this. Should have stayed in the cell.
I just say to him, I'm like, Rabe, you saved us all.
I hand
You
him.
don't remember?
I hand him the beer. I hand him the beer anyway. I'm like, here you go, bro. You earned this.
I saved you all?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
took this heroic leap and just like murdered 2 crabs. One of them got you
Lobsters.
on a backhand and
Lobsters. You murdered 2 lobsters.
lobsters. Oh,
I
yeah.
think I vaguely remember.
Oh my god, it was manly as crap. Oh, dude, I cannot wait to tell all the women about what happened. It's like amazing.
Yeah, it might almost make it worth it.
I mean, for a moment.
Captain Claus scuttles up behind you. Yes, you did well, meatbags. We underestimated you a bit.
Yeah, I take a big old swig of vodka and then just go, "Sir, it has been a great honor to fight next to Captain Claw and his powerful men. For we are not soldiers, but the fact that we won today is, I'm sure, is a sure indicator of what will happen in the future."
Yeah, I can't say I trust humans in general, but if you're ever looking to get back on the open seas, I think that we have a place for you in Captain Crabbeard's pirate armada.
And I clap back to him. That is truly a great honor, and we truly appreciate it. Let us continue and set up these routes and let me see here. Let us continue and set up these routes and continue our conquest of the destruction of the dreaded Megazord Lobster.
Yeah.
I try and do a really heroic pose. I've got both my hands on my hip, or my hand and my hook on my hip. I'm just staring out to sea, just trying to look really legit.
One of the crabs whispers to Brandy, "He'd look more heroic if he did that flaming hook thing again. That would really help the pose."
I
Can
know.
you tell him?
Oh, I just nod that's a great idea. Hey, Jarek, do the flaming. I just look. I'm making little lighting things on fire motions, you would do with Flint, towards the hook, physically trying to.
Then I
indicate
do
what to
one of those, and with the hook hand. Actually, that looks a little bit too I do
Yeah, like that, except completely different.
Yeah.
Oh man.
In an entirely different motion, you light up your hook, holding it out in front of you ablaze. In a rather uncommon gesture, all of our crabs, still in their tower of crabs, clap their claws together for you. Their crab artist, who is one of their cabin boys, has come out and is sketching you in this pose.
Guys, look, they're sketching me and cheering for me since I saved you all. Isn't that great?
I nod and pat Rab on the back and you did well. You did very well. And
you are included in the sketch, Rab, wielding your lobster crackers.
I'm wielding them backwards, though.
I'm just fluffy and irritated, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
also
all head back to the
something-
ship where Brunhilde is also puffy and irritated. But now you can all head back to Duke Shelley and receive your reward, which we will pick up next week.
Oh, that's gonna be that so many possibilities. It feels good. Guys, we survived the Megazord Lobsters.
Barely.
I have to help.
I do. Wait, do we level up on that or not?
Yeah, I think that heading to level 3 is a great idea.
Woo!
Perfect opportunity.
Ooh.
Level 3, guys. Next time.
How do you go about this? How do you go about the level up thing?
Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
We can figure out leveling up some other time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I am
we'll do that.
almost as tired as Jarek.
All right, guys. I'd like to thank Vajrana for sticking with us. Awesome 1-11-22. Thanks for dropping by. And on behalf of everybody, Team Mediocre, we all say, have yourself a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
And hope you enjoyed. And tune in next week, same time, same. Hopefully, less lobsters kicking Rab's ass. But you know.
I had him. Had it in the bag. I mean,
You had it the whole time. Is that it?
I'm a hero. Sketch.
See, It's funny, Rab, because I was actually giving you a +3 bonus to your attack rolls. You just never hit. I was just doing the math in my head.
Peace
I'm
out,
like,
guys.
nope, still doesn't hit.